friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I'm going to be wrapping up my January budget. It is bright and early here on the last day of my month. Technically, it's not the last day of the month, but the 31st of January I'm actually using as the first day of February because we get paid that day and it just makes sense with our pay schedule. So we are wrapping up January today. I have tracked everything that I've spent this last week. I've got my coffee because I'm gonna need it to crunch these numbers. I'm going to go ahead and categorize and color code my transactions for the week of January 24th through the 30th. I'm going to enter all of this information into my 2-page hybrid budget worksheet, and we're going to see whether or not we stuck to our January budget. I'm so excited. So I've got everything I need here. In front of me is my budget planner with my budget worksheets in them, and I'm using the worksheets from the winter collection from my Etsy shop. So all of the worksheets that you see today are from that collection. My Etsy shop is listed down below if you'd like to snag any of these worksheets for your budget. I also do have February worksheets available in my Etsy shop, which have a fun conversation hearts theme. So if you'd rather have that, since we're moving into February, you can grab that as well. All of my worksheets are printables and they print out at 8.5 by 11 size. I personally print my pages double-sided. I punch them using an arc punch and I put them into a big size happy planner. So now that all that information is out of the way, I'm gonna have another sip of coffee and we're gonna start talking about my transactions for the week. Alright, let me go ahead and move my coffee out of frame here, but not too far away because it's still pretty early in the morning. I'm going to pull in the mild liners that I use to do my color coding. So it looks like I need my one for groceries, my one for household, definitely my one for eating out. We did have some eating out this week. I've got gas, miscellaneous, bills, my spending, and debt. I believe that should cover me. I like to do a different color for each category. Not only is it bright and colorful and pretty on my expense tracker, but it also just makes it super easy to pick out which transaction is what. So I'm going to kind of add up each category, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see, and highlight as I go, and we'll get some totals going. So I'm going to start with eating out since that's the first thing on my list here. We did do some eating out this week. I talked at the beginning of January about how I wanted to not eat out this month. I think that was just a pipe dream. Like, going from all the eating out to no eating out probably wasn't realistic, but we'll see how we did. So on the 24th, I actually ran through the Wendy's drive-thru for myself. I was picking up my son at the last minute. I didn't think I was gonna have to pick him up that day, and he called me in a panic saying he totally forgot to let me know that I needed to pick him up. So I had to run right out the door, and I was starving, so I grabbed something on while I was out. So $11.85 there. And then we did do eating out. My husband and I went out to lunch on Friday. We had a meeting and then we grabbed some lunch, and that was $28.60. So the grand total for eating out for this last week of the month was $40.45. Not the greatest, but it could have been worse. So I'm just going to highlight the line here so that I can get the total. Eating out, $40.49. Alright, and that was it for eating out for the week. We paid some bills. I always highlight my bills in blue, so we had car insurance come out, and that was $201.42. Hopefully you guys can see my calculator clicking here. We had motorcycle insurance as well for $17.17. And we had Netflix for $15.49 for a grand total of $234.08 in bills for the week. All right, next we made some debt payments. So I paid the minimum payment on my First Merchants Bank card. This is actually a different highlighter than the one I typically use, but that's okay. And then from my husband's income, we made an additional debt payment to First Merchants Bank, since that's the card we are currently working on. And then we paid my Ashley card minimum payment. It was $128. And I believe that was all of the debt payments we made this week, so we paid a total of $312 to debt this week. Okay, next up we have gas, and we just had one little gas transaction. I did not need to get gas in my car. We still have over half a tank, but I did need to put some gas in our snowblower. My husband needed to clear some snow this weekend. Actually, kind of mid to late last week, and so that cost us $7.25 in gas. So we're going to be starting out February with just about a half a tank of gas. So yeah. Next we had a miscellaneous expense. My husband ran to Circle K for something. I don't even know what. I didn't know what to categorize it, so I just categorized it as miscellaneous. We had money in that bucket, I guess, so we just used that to cover whatever that transaction was. $8.90. Then we have groceries. So we ran to Dollar General for a few odds and ends that we needed on the 25th. And that was $23.90. And then we had our regular weekly grocery shopping, and that was $84.22. So we spent a total of $108.12 in groceries this week. And I do have a grocery haul showing what we picked up at Walmart that day if you're interested in that. Then for household, while I was at Walmart, we bought toilet paper, very important. And that was $19.04, so that came out of our household budget. And then last but not least, I did have some spending this week, some personal spending. I bought myself a new phone case, which you may have seen when I was filming the intro. It's so pretty. It matches the case I have on my tablet, and I have the same little sticker on my laptop in that pattern, so now all of my devices match. And I think it was well worth the $13.77 I paid. My old phone case was broken, so you know, splurged a little on that really pretty phone case to keep my phone protected. So all in all, we're going to add up all of these categories now. We spent $743.69. So now that I have that all figured out, all color coded, I can go ahead and pull this expense tracker out to use it as a reference so that I can fill in my hybrid budget worksheet, which is right here. So we'll fill in what we can in the bills section here under the monthly section, and then we'll fill in week 4 for our variable expenses. I'll kind of put the finishing touches on all of this, and we'll figure out overall how we did for January. So exciting. Typically I would split this up into 2 videos. It would be like week 4 check-in and then budget wrap-up, but I think I'm just going to do it all in one video because we got lots of budgeting content coming down the pipeline. So we'll start with bills, where we always start here. Hopefully you guys can see. And we're looking for the blue highlighter because that's my bills category. So for car insurance, I paid $201.42. For car insurance here, we budgeted $205, so we're under budget overall there, which is what I like to see. Motorcycle insurance came out at $17.17, which is also under budget. And then the very last bill for the month was Netflix, and we paid $15.49. So that was that. Quickly, I'll flip over here to the extra debt payments, or to the debt payments in general, rather. So we had Ashley came out at $128, which is just what I budgeted. First Merchants Bank, why is that not? Oh, it is on here, duh. So the minimum payment there was $40. And then I did make that extra payment of $144, which I have here. You see there's a second line item for extra debt payments because we're going to count up my little iridescent envelope I've been stashing money away in, but that will probably be in a separate video. So that's just going to stay blank for now. But as you can see here, all of my debt payments that I plan to make have been made, so I'm going to get an actual total here. This extra payment is coming from various sources, like my spending money when I've been doing the savings challenge, but that money has technically already been accounted for in where I track my spending. So if I put in this extra payment we're going to make and I add it into the total, then my books aren't going to balance because it's already been accounted for elsewhere. So I wanted to put the line item here so that I'd have a place to track how much of an extra debt payment I made, but technically it's already been budgeted out. Hopefully that makes sense. So 200 plus 150 plus 650 plus 128 plus 40 plus 88 plus 144 is 1,400, which is what we budgeted. And if we look here under debt, you can see 1,400 is what we budgeted, 1,400 is what we paid. All right, let's go ahead then into week 4. We're gonna have to do some flipping back and forth here. So let me just open this up so as not to make you dizzy. And fill in my categories. So the categories we're tracking are grocery, household, eating out, gas, my spending, miscellaneous, and unbudgeted. So starting with grocery, if I pull in my expense tracker that we just filled out together here, we know that we spent $108.12 on groceries. So I just need to write that number in. And last time we checked in, we were already over budget on groceries by $52.62. So we have obviously gone even further over budget, but I knew that was going to be the case last week when I talked to you guys, so none of this should be a surprise. So we are a total of $160.74 over budget now, so I need to write that in red. But if you remember at the beginning of the month, I budgeted for January a really low amount. I think because we had just done a big grocery shop, I thought mistakenly that would help us stick to that lower budget, and I just wrote this in wrong. This is $160.74. So since that was our last grocery trip of the month, I can write in a total here for groceries. So we budgeted $600, we went $160.74 over that. So if I add the 600 to the 160.74, that means we spent a total of $760.74 on groceries for the week or for the month, which I actually think is pretty incredible. We made a really big dietary lifestyle change this month, so the fact that we spent under $800 on groceries, despite the fact that we're buying more expensive, healthier foods, is incredible. I think for February I'm going to budget $800, and we'll see if we can stick to that. We'll see whether this was just an anomaly or if this is going to be it moving forward. Now, in 2022, I was combining my groceries and my household into one line item, and we were always spending between $1,000 and $1,200. So when I'm done here filling in my totals for grocery and household, I am, just for myself, going to add those together and see about what we spent in those categories and see if that's kind of like right on with what we have been spending. But overall, I think $800 for good, healthy food for a family of 4 that includes like 3 practically grown men. Like my husband's a grown man, my oldest son, Robbie, is 20, and then Austin is 15 and eats like a grown man. So I think that's actually really good considering the prices of groceries. You guys will have to let me know what you spend on groceries in your household. But I'm really pleased with that. Even though we're over that $600 budget, I knew when I wrote 600 that that was probably not going to be realistic. So now I have a better idea of what it's going to cost moving forward to feed my family, and I can take that into account for future budgets. Okay, next we have household. Pull my expense tracker back in here. Should we just continue? I think I'll fill out week 4 here, and then we'll jump over and fill in my monthly totals just for the sake of brevity here, because I feel like this could get really long. So for household, we spent $19.04. And when we checked in last week, we had $13.20 remaining. $13.20 minus $19.04 means we went a little tiny bit over budget here as well, by $5.84. But that's okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty darn close. For eating out, we spent, what? $40.49 eating out this week. When we last checked in, we had $120.04 remaining in that budget, because even though I made it a goal not to eat out in January, I knew that it wasn't super realistic of a goal, so I still budgeted the money just in case, and I'm glad I did because we ended up using some of it, but not all of it, so that's a win. We have $79.55 remaining in our eating out budget, which is awesome. I'm proud of us for that. We did better than we have in previous months. Not as well as maybe I had hoped, but better, and that I call a win. For gas, we spent $7.25. When we last checked in, we had $55.49 remaining. So we have $48.24 remaining in that budget overall for the month, so we came in under budget there. Next we have my spending. So I know that I spent $13.77 on a phone case, but that's not all, because I am going to pull out some more money from my envelope in order to put some away for an extra debt payment. You guys know I've been doing this all month because I put myself on a no buy for 2023, which means that there's some categories of spending that I'm just not doing in 2023. I'm not buying a lot of the things that I would typically spend my spending money on, like makeup, planner, supplies, budgeting stuff. I have a whole list of things I'm not buying in 2023 in my goals video for 2023. If you are interested in seeing what all of the categories are, I can link that video in a card above. But suffice it to say, I'm still giving myself $160 a month for spending money, but because I'm not buying in so many different categories that I typically would, I've had a lot of money left over. And so I've been using that leftover money towards my goals of putting money away for my son's car that we're saving for and putting money away for extra debt. So I need to look into my envelope here. And I actually have not yet pulled the money out for the phone case. So I have $20, $40, $60, $66. And if I take away the $13.77, that leaves me with $52.23 left. Okay? So just honestly to make this a little bit easier, I have 67 minus 14. We'll round it up. So $53 of this is actually remaining. I need to get some change, but for now I'm going to do my savings challenge. So I'm going to pull in my dice, which I have here. I just have this set of dice, and I use the 20-sided dice to help me with this little savings challenge. The rest of these can go back in the little velvet bag, maybe for another day. And I roll once, and the amount that I roll goes to debt, and then I roll a second time, and that amount goes to my son's car. So we'll start by rolling for debt. $4 is going to debt. So yeah, I need to grab my iridescent envelope and grab some change, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I grabbed 21s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm going to trade out a 20 for 21s. I'm going to take 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And put it back in the bank to cover what I spent here on my phone case. Because that went on a credit card. I'll just use this cash to pay the credit card. So I'm going to stick this in my wallet to cover that. Then I'm going to pull out the $4 that we rolled for debt. And I'm going to stick it in this iridescent envelope. Be on the lookout for a debt update video coming soon where I talk about how much in total we're going to make, or how much in total for my extra debt payment, and what our credit card that we're currently working on is looking like. That'll be a debt update coming soon, and then we're going to roll one more time to figure out how much money we're going to put aside for my son's car, which is our other big goal for 2023. 17. So I'm going to need to get more change. All I have are ones, so I'm going to go grab 20 more ones here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Swap that for a 20. And we're going to put 17 of those ones into my son's car fund. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, and my son's car fund is here in my sinking funds folder. Some of the money is in the bank. So we're going to add 17 today. I'm gonna try to do this mental math. So 1535 plus 17 is 1552. So I'm gonna add this $17 in here, and we're gonna count this and make sure it's 1552. I do have 1500 in the bank, so I have these little placeholders that I made for myself, and then there should be 52 here. So 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. So we have $1,552 set aside for my son's car. And if we look here, when I stuffed this for my sinking funds, we had $1,510. So I added a total of $42 from my spending money into Austin's car savings for the month, which is awesome because otherwise I would have just probably spent that money on something frivolous and unnecessary. So I'd much rather that money go to my goals. Okay, so that's leaving me for the month with a total of 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. What do you think, you guys? Should we roll again for an extra debt payment? Because we only put $4 towards debt. And I've got all this money left over. And I do have a plan for any leftover money, but that's quite a bit. So let's roll again for debt. 19, yes, okay. So I'm gonna take this 20. That's such a better number for debt than 4. And I'm just gonna pull a 1 back out. And that means then that what I have left over in my envelope is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have $12 remaining. So I gotta figure out how much then did I put into this envelope this week. So we had 14 for the phone case, 4 for debt, 19 for debt, and then 17 for Austin's car, $54. Now let's just double check and make sure that that's right. So when I last checked in, we had 66. 66 minus 54 is 12, so that's perfect. Now you might be thinking, Jessie, what are you gonna do with that extra $12? Well, I have a video game coming out in May that I'm really looking forward to. It's the new Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, I think is what it's called. It's set to be released in May, and so I thought what I would do with any extra money I have from my spending envelope is just tuck it away. That way come May, I have everything, all the money I need to buy that game. It'll probably be like $60 to $75. So we're gonna add 5, 6, 7, 12, right? $12 to that fund. I don't even have an envelope for it, do I? Let me see what I got here. I have this old envelope, and I'm gonna stick this money in there, stick it in the safe, and slowly but surely start saving up for that video game. So that's where that $12 is gonna go. So I stuck that in there. But overall, even with all of the money that I put towards my son's car and towards debt, I still ended up with money left over. And realistically, I only purchased 2 things for myself this month. One of them being that phone case. The other thing was fresh flowers. So I'm really, really satisfied with that. Okay, we kind of went off on a little tangent there. Let's get back on track. So I guess technically we spent all of my spending money, right? Because we put that 12 into savings for the future, but I guess I'll stick that down here under savings since it's not accounted for here. So I'm just gonna write LOZ, we put $12 in. We didn't technically budget for it, I guess, but that's where that money came from. Just so that I know that it's accounted for, it's gone, I can't use it for anything else. Okay, back on track, miscellaneous. We spent $8.90. Last time we checked in, we still had $111.48 in that funds. So if we subtract out the $8.90, we still have $102.58. So as you can see, these remaining balances here are going to more than cover the overage we had in grocery and household. So we're good, you guys. This month is turning out great. And then we had nothing unbudgeted all month. So we can really quickly get a total. We spent $108.12 plus $19.04 plus $40.49 plus $7.25 plus $54 plus $8.90. We spent $237.80. And then for what we have remaining, I'm going to add up all the positive numbers and then subtract out the negative ones. So we had $79.55 plus $48.24. That doesn't look right. Let me try again. $79.55 plus $48.24 plus 12 plus $102.58 minus $160.74 minus $5.84. So we still had $75.79 remaining overall for variable spending. If we subtract out that $12 I put to savings, that still leaves over $63. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. The lighting's not great here. Over $63 under budget, which is incredible. I'm so excited. So all that's left to do now is fill in this bit here and then we will be done. So for household, we know we came in over budget by $584. Hey guys, it's Jessie here. I'm editing this video and I'm realizing I made a mistake here. I wrote in the actual column $584 instead of $205.84 because it should have been what we actually spent. And all I wrote in there was the amount that we went over budget. So this is wrong. It means that when I add up my actual column, I'm going to be $200 short of what it should be. So you'll see when we get there that I'm still under budget, but not by as much as I think, because I just had a bit of a brain fart and wrote in the wrong number here. But I'm catching it now. That's all that matters. And yeah, I just wanted to pop in here and let you know that this is wrong, but I did catch my mistake. For eating out, it's just a matter now of putting in, you know, the totals. So for household, for eating out, we budgeted $200. We had $79.55 remaining, which means we only spent $120 with 45 cents. For gas, we started the month with $160. We had $48.24 remaining, which means we only spent $111.76. Spending. This is where it gets a little more complicated. Well, so my husband, we gave the full $240. For Austin, we gave the full $100. And you know what? The $12 savings, yeah, I guess I can put it down here. So what I will do, I know my husband got all his money, Austin got all his money, and I had all of my money, except for that $12 that I put into savings. So we will say $500 that I budgeted, minus the $12 that we put into savings. We spent $488. We didn't budget anything for savings, but we put $12 there. That way that full $500 is covered. Now we know that it didn't all go to spending, right? Some of it went to debt, some of it went to my son's car, but it's all out of the budget and accounted for. Miscellaneous, we started with $200. We ended with $102.58, which means we only spent $97.42. We had nothing unbudgeted. We did do the full $1,200 in sinking funds. And the rollover, I'm just going to keep to myself for the sake of privacy. So what I need to do now is add up all these actual totals and see how close we came to being under budget, or how close we came to this $5,862 budget and what we have remaining, because we are going to be under that budget, which is so exciting. So 6 plus 592 plus 74 plus 3650 plus 1581 plus 120 plus 203 plus 67 plus 10 plus 1717 plus 20142 plus 2299 plus 1549 plus 1400 plus 760.74 plus 584 plus $120.45 plus $111.76 plus 488 plus 9742 plus 1200 plus 12. It's $5,577.59. So that means, provided all my math was accurate, we came in under budget for January by $284.41. Nope, that math's not mathin'. Take away that 200 from my earlier mistake. We're actually only $84.41 under budget. Still under budget, still an accomplishment, but not quite as good as I thought. Which is amazing, you guys. I am so proud of us. Yay! Okay, so what I'm going to do then is add this money to our rollover amount for January and take it into February, so we can do a little bit more in February with our spending or with our savings or whatever we decide to do with that. So that's so exciting to come in under budget. And I'm just going to write 28441 under budget. Plus, we made so much progress. We did the extra $144 to debt from our regular budget. We have money set aside for debt in my envelope here, which we'll discuss in a future video. I put so much of that spending money of mine towards my son's car. So overall, I would say January was a fantastic month. Let me know in a comment below, how was January for you? Was it phenomenal? Did you struggle? Either way, you know, it's a clean slate moving into February. If you have not yet grabbed your February budget worksheets and you are interested in this Candy Hearts collection, make sure you head on over to my Etsy shop and snag it. You can get 15% off your order with the coupon code YTFriend. Since you're my friend here on YouTube, you get that little perk. Make sure you get yourself all set up for February. Regardless of what happened in January, you get a clean slate and a fresh start. And I'm excited to be bringing you my February budget, which you will see soon. All right, friends, thank you. If you made it to the end of this whopper of a video, give it a thumbs up and leave heart emojis in the comment section so that I know. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.